Are you MAGA?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay,
Why'd you send me a request?
you said something dumb in the comment section. I forgot what you said. Can you remind me?
Oh, I think that I said that you're gonna need to actually get a job because it's coming real hard for you to keep lying and inflating your lies.
Can you tell me what lie and what inflational lie? And I would love to hear
Like
this.
literally everything that comes out of your mouth.
Like, give me an example.
Oh God. Where do I want to start? I'd probably say like let's go with a recent topic. Probably like the health care that people are getting denied health care.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do they meet the qualifications that it takes to qualify for that said
Can I
healthcare?
just kind of let you know? Not only women in terms of access to abortion, but also clearly if we reference like people not getting access to preventative health care, insurance allows people to afford preventative health care.
Parker, if you
Okay.
did not have health insurance, right? And you went to a hospital because you were ill, you're telling me that the facility would deny someone medical care because they didn't have health insurance.
That's
That's
exactly what
literally
I meant.
against the law.
Oh, can I give you an
Exactly
example?
what I meant.
Can I give you an example?
Go ahead. Tell me something. Yeah, please. Here.
Yeah, my friend Adam specifically, right, can't afford his cancer treatments, right? And it is the case that he will literally not get access to his chemo and he will literally if he cannot afford it. Okay? You can look at the link tree in my
Well,
bio.
it sounds like
The
he can
first
afford
link
it.
please be quiet. The first link in my bio is Adam's GoFundMe. We've raised for Adam specifically over $40,000 because it is the case that he has to spend $15,000 a month to stay alive and to get access to chemo.
Okay, I had sequela cell sarcoma. It's a form of oral cancer that I had to pay for my own treatment for out of pocket.
You
So I mean,
shouldn't
I
have.
understand that it does have a cost.
Yeah,
Why?
but
Why
Parker,
I'm
that has
financially
nothing to
stable
do with
enough to pay for it. I don't
politics.
qualify for free health care, and then
You should
also
have.
I
You should have.
support.
Every single person in this country should have free at the point of service access to health insurance and health care because it is the case that it is a
I
fundamental
do have
human
access.
right.
I don't
Okay,
qualify.
what does that have to do with Trump, though?
Donald Trump wanted to repeal and replace the ACA, but had concepts of a plan for healthcare. Right, 9 years running into president of the United States, it has no healthcare policy currently, and it wants to
So you're
strip
telling,
over 11 million people off their Medicaid, millions of people off their food stamps.
so that boy that you're talking about, which I'm very sorry that he's going through that, you're telling me that he's going through that because of Donald Trump?
People like Donald Trump, yes, in the policy in the
No,
United
that's been
States.
happening for decade for our entire lives
Because it is the
since
case
we've
that is
been
because it
alive.
is the case that Republicans water down right legislation to specifically provide a public option for everyone. Republicans, historically speaking, are the reasons.
You were Republican,
Yeah, I
okay?
used to be like when I was in high school. Yeah.
So how come none of the Democrats changed it?
What do you mean? I'm confused.
Right? So you're saying Republicans. How come none of the Democrats have ever changed it?
Because we rely on bipartisanship in order to get bills passed.
Right, but I
Oftentimes, yeah.
mean that's a pretty big like most people you would think would be for that, right?
I would, yeah, yeah, but like it seems
Right.
like there's a lot
So
of
you
lot.
think you're
Yeah,
you're
there's a
really
lot.
going to
Okay,
make
oh,
a
I want
blanket
to let you know.
statement?
Republicans take a lot of money from lobbyists that get big money from health insurance companies that make money off of people. Not no
Really,
joke.
who's the
People
Well,
largest?
they
no,
make
I
money
know
Who's the
off
that.
of
largest
I
one?
they
know
make
that.
money off
Retail.
of restricting access to care. That's how they do it.
I
They
think
are
anybody
for-profit
knows
health
that.
insurance companies meant to gut you as much as they possibly can to make money off of you. And what I'm saying is that we should not have health insurance programs based upon for-profit because then we're going to have companies putting profit over human lives. And I think that we should have a baseline level of human decency for every single person. I disagree with you politically, but you shouldn't have to go into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt because you have cancer. You shouldn't
And I
have
agree
to.
with you, but
You
it has
shouldn't. Your
nothing to do
family
with Donald
members
Trump.
shouldn't because they can't get access to preventative health care.
Well, listen,
I agree
That's
with you.
specifically what I'm advocating for. I disagree with you politically, but I don't want you to. I want anyone in this country to. And the
Right.
fact that there's
But
45 to 68,000 American lives that are lost every single year due to lack of health insurance should make you mad at the fact that Republicans
It does.
consistently take money from health insurance companies, right, over the fact that there are literally 45 to 68,000 American lives lost every single year due to lack of health insurance. Support Medicare for all. You're a Republican, you can still support Medicare for all. There are conservatives in other countries around the world that literally support universal health care. That is a common view amongst conservatives in other countries
Yeah,
around the
and I
world.
appreciate
First, the
that you
galaxy,
feel
thank you.
strongly about that, but you also don't need to try to twist it to make it sound like it has anything to do with Trump.
That's exactly right.
It does, though. I just told you, I explained. Let me explain again.
Oh, no, I'll explain to you if you want. The only thing that he changed was saying that able-bodied people, even people that are able-bodied that have children, they're not even a part of this. Able-bodied people that don't have children need to work 80 hours a month in order to get free health insurance.
I have a question. If someone doesn't have access to a job because it's a recessionary period, should they lose their health insurance?
Okay, but why do they not have access
Answer
to
the
a
question.
job?
It's a recessionary period. I just described. It's a recessionary period. Can you answer the
A
question?
recessionary
Should they
period would
lose
be
their health
unemployment,
insurance?
and that would mean that they would still qualify.
Should they lose their health insurance?
What you're saying doesn't apply to people that are working.
I understand.
It also
I'm
doesn't-
often
it
I'm
also
referencing
doesn't
someone
apply
who
to options for people
I'm
to do
referencing
this one thing.
I'm referencing someone who, again, due to a recessionary period, can't get access to a job because there aren't jobs in the specific area in which they live, right? Within the specific field
Okay,
and
well-
industry in which they work within. So given that that's the case, right, would you say that they should lose their health insurance in that circumstance?
No, maybe they should move just like the rest of us that had
Yeah.
to move across the country.
So
for a
I live
job.
in the state
so
of
your answer is
Pennsylvania.
just move, bro.
No,
Seriously?
I live in the state of
Push the paper
Pennsylvania, and
train.
if you get fired or laid off, you still get unemployment benefits and all the benefits
And
that
tell
you
me,
get.
is that state or federal policies?
That's a state policy.
Okay, so tell me, were Democrats the ones that put that into the place, or were that Republicans?
I'm actually not sure because this has
I
been.
promise you, it was Democrats. Okay,
You're saying
I promise you,
do you
Democrats
know
were the
that?
ones that put that. I promise. Go find it. I would put money on it.
Why don't you find it? You have a
I would say
computer right in front of you.
disproportionately, because I'm not going to do the research for you. Disproportionately, it was Democrats.
You are not saying it with factual. You're saying I promise you, like you don't know the answer to that.
You want to take a bet?
So just look it up.
You want to take a bet?
What would you like to bet me, Parker?
Any amount.
No, you have more money than I do.
Okay. Then something else, right? How about dignity? We'll bet on the dignity.
You don't have any.
I do. I got more than you.
Literally none.
Really? What makes you think I have no dignity?
Because I
fact that
think that you're
you're-
using this platform in a way that is, like you're manipulating people, right? You're not speaking full truths.
In what way? How am I
You're not being
manipulating people?
completely. You're not being completely transparent.
How am I lacking transparency alongside the time that you're supporting Donald Trump, who's not releasing the Epstein
Okay,
files?
for instance, like we have, right? Like
Talk about
he won the
transparency.
election, right? Let's move forward. Let's hope that America's going in the right direction. We want to live in a great country, right? So let's be positive, right?
Wait, how am
Why
I not?
do you-
How am I not
Wait,
transparent?
hang on. Why do you constantly, every time I watch you, go back to the argument? And it's just like, can we let it go and move forward?
No,
Can we move forward?
no. I don't just let go.
Okay.
And I don't just
Okay.
I don't just like stop saying bad people someday. I know you're a
Also-
Republican and like
Okay, but
it's
she
really
also
hard for you
accused
to understand
19 other
compassion,
men of
dignity for
doing the
people,
same
and like
thing.
empathy. But like you have to be able to reconcile with the idea that are bad people and like you shouldn't support them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's
No,
a very
I don't think
fundamental.
so either.
That's the case,
How
though.
come she accused 19 men of the same exact thing?
She
Exactly
didn't.
right.
That's a
And
lie.
how
You
come
want to bet on that?
third off with-
I bet your entire
I told
life
you I'm
savings
not
on
betting you.
bet your entire life savings on that point. I will bet my entire life.
Why would I
savings
do
on
that?
Yeah, because you know that you're lying.
What about it happening? One
Why?
of the most popular. What about it happening?
Wait, Tommy, I want her to acknowledge that she just lied there.
I didn't lie.
Okay, really? Can
Look
you
it up.
then tell me what's the source?
I don't have a source.
Exactly. It's just
I'm not an encyclopedia.
it's literally just trust me, bro.
No, I read it.
Read it where?
I can't tell you where I
Facebook.
read it.
You read it on Facebook?
I don't get my news from Facebook like you.
I don't go to Facebook. What are you talking about? Where do you get your information
Hold on.
from?
I actually go to all sources and I make my. Actually, I watch like all of the Oval Office hearings.
No. Tell me
and then I
what
also
specific
check-
sources do you go to? Like
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Like where do you get your news?
I watch, well, I usually just watch the Oval Office hearings and the, like press briefings, but I do check CNN and I do check AP and I do check Fox because I would like to get, a more transparent idea of what's happening and not just a biased viewpoint. And that's the problem with right now is people just listen to you and believe your lies, and then they read like CNN
You couldn't
and
mention
they're
a
like, "Oh my
single
God,
lie that I said. You literally couldn't mention
I
one.
just told you."
You said that I wasn't
Okay, I'm
transparent and you
sorry.
couldn't mention the single lie. And then I said,
Okay, I'm
"Wow, I'm
sorry.
I'm so
You're
not
not
transparent. Tell me how I'm not transparent while you
Wait, hang
support the
on.
guy
You're
that
not a
won't drop the
liar.
Epstein files."
Parker, you're not a Okay, first off, we're going to go there.
Yes.
Okay, if Trump was in them, right? How come no administration ever released them? If that would have been their gravy train. Like, are you kidding me? They would have wanted nothing more than to
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
him under the
How
bus.
about you ask this question? If it's a Democratic hoax and the Democrats created it, the Biden administration, the Clintons, and Obama,
No, I think there's
can
somebody in there that they're
I
protecting.
would love to,
Both parties.
please, I would love to make this point.
Oh,
Can
hey,
I please make this point?
hey,
Can I
Parker, he
please
was
make this?
right.
Can I please make this point? Okay, so if it was again according to Donald Trump a Democratic hoax, right, created by Obama, right, the Clintons, the Biden administration, well then it wouldn't include any Democrats within it because it was a Democratic hoax created by the Democrats. They wouldn't put their own people within it. So then, of course, they would release it in that context, right?
I didn't say that.
Hey,
You're
So
Parker, I
so
would
twisting
like
then
to
so
take
words.
is
you up on
why
that
is
bet.
Donald Trump lying about the Epstein files
They're
and
obviously
saying that
both
they're a
sides.
Democratic hoax after
No,
claiming
I don't
that he
agree
was
with
not
that.
only
I
going
didn't
to
say
release
that.
the Epstein files, but
I
also
didn't say that. I think both sides are trying to protect people that are in them. That's what
who
I
is Trump?
think.
Who's Trump trying to protect?
I don't know who's in there. I don't have them. I don't have the files.
Hey, I would like to take you up on that bet that she didn't accuse other men of in the past,
She said
and that
19
it was
people. Take me on that
and
bet.
it was several people.
Oh,
It
you
says
said
Carol
wait.
named
Okay,
several
you
named
said you think it was
several
19
named.
people?
Hold on, listen. I mean, it doesn't have an
Push the
exact
galaxy.
number,
Thank
but
you so much,
I
Angela.
said several people. It says
It
that
wasn't
Carol
even
named several
several.
men. It
Oh, how
says
many was
Carol.
it,
It literally
Parker?
says right here. Carol named several men that she said
Name
assaulted her
them.
over the years.
Name them.
Among them was Les Munevs, which was some CEO. That's all that would let me copy and paste into the text here, but you could search it yourself and see that it's the
Yeah,
truth.
it was just him and Trump. That's it.
No,
That's
So
not
really.
several
several.
people is
Several.
one person?
No, no. He's saying several people or two people.
No, that's what it
That,
And
literally
then
says
also
in
the
the
you said,
article.
definition of
and
I
also
several
copy
is
and
Brittany,
not
pasted
Brittany,
that
two.
Brittany,
directly out of the
Brittany.
article.
You said 19. You're absolutely removed from reality.
Okay, so if I said
I
four, you
copied
would
and
say
pasted that
maybe?
directly out of the
I
article,
would
first
say
of
you're
all.
also removed from reality because she never did that.
Oh, what if I
Well,
said
maybe
three?
You still would have been wrong.
Oh,
really it says
so, but if I
several, so
said
several is
two,
two.
I would be right. Then you would say I was right.
Yeah.
Then why does it
Oh,
say
Parker,
several?
give it up. Come on.
Well, give what up? If you said something right,
I'm
I
gonna
would
get
say
the
you're
actual
right.
one.
Like, of course.
How do you feel
She
about the
expects me to
economy
deny
right
reality.
now?
She just expected me to deny reality, and when I didn't deny reality, then she was
Excuse
like, "Oh,
me.
what the Parker?" Like,
I didn't get mad at you. I didn't scream at you.
see, I never said you
Um,
screamed at me. Jesus Christ.
well, that's what you sounded like.
She's accused like an
Oh, thank you,
ex-boyfriend,
Tommy,
a
by the way.
babysitter.
No, wrong. You
There's
just made this up.
several.
You just made this up.
I literally just pulled it up.
Where?
Type it in
Tell me the title.
Chat GPT right now. Type it in Chat GPT right now.
Chat GPT is not a source. Tell me what did
How many men
what is the
has she
source?
accused?
Yes,
Type it in Chat
only two
GPT right
men.
now.
Tommy, if you are using ChatGPT, just ask ChatGPT what the sources are.
Yeah,
Okay.
You use ChatGPT.
I don't actually.
What do you think about the
He has
economy right
lists.
now?
People give him rebuttals and lists on paper.
What do I think about the economy right now? Well,
Yeah, what do you think
I
about
think
it?
that Donald Trump's policy has led to a decrease in the expected growth for real GDP. We saw several quarters of multiple percentage points growth in real GDP, right? And then in terms of him coming into office in the first quarter of 2025, we saw a 0.3% decline in real GDP. We saw a decline in real median wages when we saw several quarters of growth in real median wages. We've also seen a slight
Can
increase in
we talk
unemployment.
regular people language for a second? Do you feel like we're doing better now than we have in the last year?
No.
Oh, Oh, wow.
Sources include the New York Mag
Can you
article,
tell me? But
Whoa.
can you tell?
Guardian, ABC.
Can you tell me in what metrics specifically we're doing better?
Yeah, look at the inflation rates.
So just the inflation rate? That's it.
Well, that's the most
We pay
important indicator.
So one,
That controls everything, interest
it's
rates,
not
everything.
the most important indicator, and no, it doesn't control interest rates. But the
Yes,
Fed
it
does.
does. I'm in banking.
The Fed does respond to higher inflation, right? But it doesn't cause that. The Fed
Well,
has to
it's
then
one of
do
the
that.
biggest indicators of it. Yes, it is.
If there's inflation, the Fed has a dual mandate of ensuring price stability and maximum employment. So they will try to ensure price stability by increasing interest rates or stimulating the increase of interest rates. But
Parker,
like
do you know I
the Fed
just
Reserve
thought of
has to do that
something?
still. So if you want to
I
reference
feel like,
hold up. If you want to reference inflation, inflation is barely down, right? We're talking 0.2%, and that's likely because we saw multiple percentage points decrease in expected real GDP comparative to what it was prior.
Or it's likely that we're only a couple of months into his term and it's already starting to decrease. What does that tell you?
yeah, big time.
Since a few months ago, it's increased. If you look at the inflation rate.
That it's down, right? So it's
No, but
down. So just like the
no,
stock
it's up
market, it's
from
going
a
to go
few.
up and down.
It's up
The
from a
same way
few.
that anything else
It's up
will,
from a
right?
few months ago,
Okay, so it's still down, right?
by 0.2%. And that's
Oh,
because
fantastic. So it
we
sounds
saw real
like
GDP go from multiple percentage points growth in real GDP to 0.3% decline, which reduced
okay,
consumer
but then tell me.
confidence.
So then tell me how we are down even 0.2%. Whenever, according to you, like 6 months ago, all of these tariffs were going to completely tank us, and inflation was going to be through the roof.
Because we paused the tariffs
Why did we pause the tariffs? And
because they had such
what
a negative
tariffs were
impact on
paused
our
if they went
economy.
off?
No, to negotiate better. That's why.
If it's to negotiate better, explain to me why we needed to renegotiate the USMCA.
Say that again. The what?
Oh,
So
she's been on
all
here before? Oh, okay. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Repeat what you're saying,
so
Tommy.
all all of listen, whenever you look at the total scale of what the tariffs are right now, even though they are currently on pause, look at how many negotiations have transpired since then, right? Look at the things that it's been able to do, such as Mexican president acknowledging and making people stop before they even get to the border. There are turn effects that happen whenever you implement things like that. It's a power play, and it's good for us that we have somebody such as Trump that's willing to negotiate on that manner instead of letting people just run all over us and tax us whenever we can't tax them in return.
So if it was specifically just reciprocal tariffs, then we wouldn't have placed tariffs on Canada after literally going through the USMCA under Trump and mitigating tariffs then. That makes no
So
sense.
what was our tariff rate billed from Canada prior to this?
It was only on specific industries. Donald Trump did an overall tariff.
Okay, so
So which
again
they
though,
didn't
with
even
the
have on
price,
us. They didn't have a
okay,
universal tariff to that degree on us.
no, but they still had tariffs on us, correct?
They still had tariffs on us.
That's right. We still had to pay a tariff, correct? Coming
So
from Canada,
I'll say that much. I'm sorry.
we were still being tariffed by Canada. We still had a tariff on our goods, even if it was select goods. We still had select goods that we were indeed having to pay tariffs on, correct or incorrect?
Well, we didn't pay the tariffs. They pay the tariffs. If they have a tariff on us, they pay it.
Understood. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So what I'm saying is, yes, there are tariffs in place now, and I guarantee you
I'm
that they're
sorry.
going to stop
If they place a tariff on us, why would we be mad at that?
because why are we paying them tariffs for all the
We
goods whenever really
don't. We
without
don't.
us?
That's not how
So you're saying
tariffs
that we don't pay
work.
any tariffs? So
Let me explain.
we don't pay any percentage in tariffs on incoming goods from Canada.
So again, when Canada places a tariff on us, we do not pay the tariff. You know who pays the tariff? The Canadian company that's importing the product that then passes it down to the consumer because it's an aspect of the cost of production rather than being a tax on the profits you take out.
Let's take into account that now there is tariffs across the board, right? And then we pause them. Now we're having negotiations. What is the end result of negotiations? A majority of the time, in situations such as this, what's going to happen?
What's the end result of
Do you think?
well, I'm
Do you think?
confused. What
Do
do
you
you mean?
think Trump? Do you think that Trump's going to allow them to raise the tariffs or to continue? Because, like you say, it may not be them pass like us paying the tariff, but we still are in turn paying the tariff because of the increased price of the good. So
What? I'm
What's
confused. It would be an
happening?
increased price of the good for Canadians, not for
I
Americans.
understand that. Understood, right? But if they're selling an object or product into our market, that price is going to go up because of the tariffs. Correct or incorrect? That's what you're saying, right?
The price, yeah, the price is going to go up for Canadians.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, if
I
Canadians
don't.
place a tariff on our goods, that means that it's going to be more expensive for Canadian consumers.
Okay, and vice versa. If we are buying a product here in the United States from Canada, and these now tariffs are in place, the price
It,
will be more.
no,
Correct?
no,
Oh, okay. So then
because
what? Then
because
well, then
because we don't have a
how
tariff
is
on them.
okay? Well, then by your logic, then we're not going to see any increase in tariffs.
I'm confused.
Exactly, because your point is literally no. It
No,
makes no sense at
no?
all.
Could you just repeat it back? I'm confused. I didn't hear what you said really to understand what you were trying to argue.
Oh my god, dude! Like I've said it like 3 times now.
I'm sorry. Do you need to like go get some tissues to cry and then come back after you're calm down?
I mean, I'm completely calm.
Okay,
So,
well
all right,
then.
here's the gist of it. Okay, are you listening?
Hmm.
Okay, perfect. So, the United States puts a tariff on, let's say, freaking Puerto Rico, even though Puerto Rico's our own. Let's say they're their own separate country, right? This way, there's no confusion. There is no tariffs right now on Puerto Rico, right?
This is a ridiculous. Don't do this. One,
Okay,
I don't like you otherizing Puerto Rico when Puerto Rico should be given like independence or statehood based upon their own democratic vote. How about you use a different example?
okay, sure. Let's say Guatemala.
Okay.
Okay, let's say that the United States imposes a 50% tariff on Guatemalan steel.
Okay.
Okay, let's use a real example. They have tile, particular a Spanish tile that comes from Guatemala. So let's say they put these tariffs on this tile product, it's a building product, right? And then now all of a sudden the end consumer here in the United States is paying more money in that particular tariff, right?
They're paying more money for the good that comes from the other country. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay. So now let's say Donald Trump says, "I'll tell you what, Guatemala, let's sit down and have a talk and negotiate this." And they sit down and they have this conversation. What do you believe the end result of that conversation would be? Do you think that the price would go up, or do you think that Donald Trump would negotiate the price down?
If he was trying to mitigate tariffs, if he was trying to reduce tariffs, it would then reduce the trade or reduce the price. Right? If it is the case that
Okay.
we have tariffs on them. And
Okay.
if it is the case that we're referencing their tariffs on us, well, then it would if they got rid of the tariffs, it would then mean that their businesses would engage in more trade with us. So essentially, tariffs are a hindrance for trade. If there's a tariff imposed, it hinders the trade.
No, I completely understand tariffs. So tariffs originally started back between the United States and the what they would call, I guess, the mother country of Britain back in the
Can, can
original.
you just
It
tell me
started on
what
like
specific tariffs you
right.
support?
So all of them until we get fair trade agreements where
What
if
is
they're
fair trade?
tariffing us, we are tariffing them.
What's fair trade?
Fair trade would be equality, equal tariffs. If you're tariffing me, I'm tariffing you.
So if we put more tariffs on them than they put on us, then we're not doing that, right?
Well, then they will either come to the negotiating table or they will just drop it down to even, and we can go down from there.
I see. Did you not understand what I just said? Can you repeat what I just said?
I mean, I completely understood what you're saying. So you're saying that if we're tariffing them more, it's still the same, and I'm saying
Then it's
that
not
if
fair trade, right?
right, so then it would be a
So then why did we
negotiating tactic.
tariff
So
countries more than they were tariffing us, especially on plenty of
that
goods
way they
they
would
weren't even
that way they would
tariffing us
lower
on?
as a power move to say, okay, now if you lower your tariff, we'll lower ours.
Okay, so do you see how like you're imposing not fair trade policy to then try and make it quote unquote more fair? Why don't you just make it
Life's
fair
not
by doing
easy.
100% and totally reciprocal?
Maybe they will. Or maybe they continue to power play to make them come to the negotiating table faster.
What deals have we got at the negotiating table because of this?
Again, how many months are we into this? This is still relatively new.
We're 6 months
Things don't
in.
happen overnight.
We're
Things don't
six.
happen
We're six
overnight.
months in. He doesn't have a single deal.
I've worked on acquisitions that took 2 years.
So we're not going to get any deals for
These
years.
aren't these aren't. I mean, I'm not giving you a timeline. I'm saying these aren't exactly easy things to negotiate. Things have to be arranged. There has to be scheduling. They have to have the same time blocks open in order for them to sit down and have the conversation and to begin with. And then you got to think of how many countries there are. We got one person doing this. You have to think. It takes some time, Parker. It doesn't happen overnight.
Okay. So again, you keep making the claim that it doesn't happen overnight. I don't see how it's a response to anything I said, right? In terms of the particular deals, if you can't mention any deals that you're referencing that we got from this, how can you mention that it's so beneficial?
Again, we will see as we go on, right? And then what I can say is, if you were correct, then we would have ridiculous amounts of inflation right now, and we don't. So I think that your whole
So,
argument is
no,
pretty much
because
null.
one, because they're paused, and two, we actually are seeing slightly increase of inflation since prior months.
So you're saying that all tariffs are paused right now?
I'm saying the main tariffs that Trump
What
put
about
on
steel and
the
copper?
main steel we had under the Biden Harris administration. Now, I'm saying universal type tariffs that Donald Trump put under Liberation Day. We in April hit 2.3% inflation, and since then we've increased again to 2.7 in June of 2025.
Okay, I mean, things are going to go up and down. It is what it is. That's life. It's a roller coaster. Things are going to move. Prices are going to go up. Prices are going to go down.
He didn't say
People are
that
going to
under
start.
Biden.
Okay, so I mean, we're still seeing a lower rate. So I mean, he's still holding true to his word.
Okay, okay. So again, because he didn't impose the tariff. So do you want the tariff to be?
All of the fear
So
mongering
here's
that
my
you guys
question:
did.
is it better that the tariff isn't imposed or that it is imposed?
Well, if they don't adhere and come to realistic terms, then I'm in favor of the tariffs being put back on active.
Even if it leads to worse conditions in our economy, higher prices.
We might see a slight raise in the beginning, but then it would force them to come back to the negotiating table as they would as well see those increases. And then we all know that their economy is not as
What
thriving
are
as
we
ours, so it
negotiating
would force
for?
them lower prices,
Lower? You mean like lower tariffs?
lower
So,
consumer good pricing.
so if we want to lower prices and we want lower tariffs, why would we raise tariffs?
Okay, so let me put it to you this way. In business, sometimes you have to buy things from people, right? Let's say you're in a distribution company and you're distributing X amount of T-shirts. Well, your first negotiation is never going to be at a price that you in turn want to get to. So sometimes that price is a little higher in the beginning. That way you can negotiate and show that you are buying bulk or whatever the case is moving forward. So it's the same exact principle in tariffs. They right now, whatever the price is, okay, we're going to put this tariff on you because
That
you
made
have this
no
tariff on us.
sense.
And it maybe
What
it is. What do you
wouldn't
mean?
if we're trying to negotiate for lower prices, pick the lowest price, not a higher price?
So have you ever heard the term that not all money is good money, and then you get what you pay for? So why would you want lower quality of anything, right?
How is that a response to anything I just said? I don't even know what we were trying to say.
Because what you're saying isn't applying into anything. You're saying that tariffs are all these terrible issues, yet the tariffs were active for a period of time. And you can look right now and see that we are still underneath the inflation rating that we were when he took office. So if what you're saying is true, then we would be in
Wait,
a
because we saw a decrease in real GDP, which led to a reduction in consumer confidence, which put downward pressure on prices.
I mean, that's your take on it, right?
That's what the take is
So
from
then,
the
so then,
Bureau of Labor
okay, so then
Statistics, and also I just want to let you know that's my take
either
as
way,
someone
the
who has an
economy's still
economics
better.
degree.
Okay, so either way, our economy is still better than it was under Harris and fucking
Based
Biden.
on what metric?
You just said it that it's lower by 0.2%.
Yeah.
Any degree
Okay,
of
but
better is
like
better.
real GDP went from multiple percentage points increase to 0.3% decline in quarter one of 2025. We saw real wage growth for multiple quarters under Biden, 4 quarters in a row, and then we saw a reduction in the quarter one of 2025. We've seen an increase in unemployment since Trump came in office. Explain to me what provisions other than the inflation specifically are better off, because I
Well,
just
you
mentioned
gotta look at
multiple
the people.
macro indicators that are worse off since Trump became president.
Sure, you gotta look at the demographic that is now unemployed, right? Like all of a sudden, all of these left wingists and people like super democratic candidate supporters are all of a sudden now without a job. Like no, now they're just literally like, oh, I'm just gonna give up on life. Like look how many people are crying all over TikTok, dude. It's ridiculous. Maybe you should, instead of like preaching against Trump, you should preach to your fellow liberals to go get a job.
So instead of responding to any of my arguments, he just said, "Go tell liberals to get a job." What do you mean?
That's
Are
what
you
the
saying?
problem is.
I just want to let you know, if you're a liberal and have a job, type 3 in the comment section. Let me type 3 real quick. Type 3 in the comment section if you are a liberal and have a job. So
And I see like
am
four of them.
I speaking to the choir when I say that, when practically the entire chat has a job? Do you have a job?
Tell them to get better jobs.
Would you get better jobs? How about you get a better job?
Would you like to like compare our living arrangements?
How about you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and start working right now instead of coming on my live stream and debating me?
I own a business, buddy. A couple of them. Why would I?
Well, then
Like
you should be working right now, running your businesses. You're losing
Yeah,
yourself
I'm
money right now.
I'm
What happened to
I'm
opportunity cost?